Hey everybody, this is Roy Bandari of Talk Condo, and today we're in a really unique location. We are on the rooftop of 2 St. Clair West, which is on the northwest corner of Yonge and St. Clair. And we're here because just immediately north of us is going to be the site of probably one of the most iconic projects that's going to launch in all year 2021, and that's One Delisle. And we're joined by the one and only Riz Danji to give us an overview of what to expect here. So, very unique location for this, and I think one of the best parts about being up here is, first of all, you get to see these incredible views sort of all the way around, south, north, south, east, west, every single way. You've got something incredible to look at. But what I really wanted to focus on to begin with was the neighborhoods that surround this location, because we are surrounded by the best of the best in Toronto neighborhoods. So
Right.
give us a quick overview of where we're at and what's sort of important about these areas.
Yeah, I think it's really important to know that about Yonge and St. Clair. Back in Yonge and St. Clair, I would say, 20 to 30 years ago was sort of the Yonge and Bloor that we consider today.
Yeah.
One of the most expensive neighborhoods in the entire Canada
Yeah.
in general. Over the years, things have changed and evolved in Toronto, and so this area didn't get the attention that it should have had. And so it took a company like Slate Asset Management, who was doing One Delisle, to actually buy up 10 buildings in this neighborhood, which is next to impossible. So they control most of the commercial that's in this area. So all 4 corners of Yonge and St. Clair are owned by Slate Asset Management.
Amazing.
Along with many other buildings at the Yonge and St. Clair node. And so what their whole philosophy is we want to bring back Yonge and St. Clair to where it was, 20 to 30 years ago, to make it the most, desirable locations in all of Canada to live in. And why I like this so much is because I actually live close by, but if you look to my right, Rosedale is no more than 4 minutes away by a drive just along St. Clair West. You've also got just north of there, you've got Moore Park, which is another, and so Rosedale and these areas, the average prices are between $4 million to over $5 million, which is crazy. And if we look at it, the terminus down Yonge Street, you're literally probably 3 minutes away from Summerhill. And Summerhill, obviously, we know where the LCBO and the Three Thieves are and everything. It's some of the most expensive real estate in all of Canada as well. And then if we look to our left,
come down
further down, we can see that Forest Hill and UCC is just right around the corner from us.
So really unique
and so
perspective
you've
here.
got that
Yeah.
pocket right around here, which is all of Forest Hill. And the other important thing that people need to know about is that you're in Deer Park, which is another one of the most expensive neighborhoods in all of the city. So you're bordered by 5 of the most expensive pieces of real estate in all of Canada, and there literally has not been a launch in this neighborhood since 2015. So the inventory is really down. There's not a lot that trades because everything is at least 10 to 15 years old.
Yeah.
So there's a huge pent-up demand, there's little supply, and so One Delisle is coming at the opportune time for people to be able to buy into this iconic building.
One of the things that you mentioned, iconic, the first thing you notice when you see this building is this incredible design. I think Jeannie Gang of Studio Gang is an important part of this building. Give us a quick overview on Studio Gang and the importance of that architect, not just in Toronto but globally. Like, she has become one of the most important architects with some of the most important buildings in Chicago, New York. So give us a quick rundown of Jeannie Gang and why she's such a pivotal part of this project.
Yeah, I think Jeannie's philosophy on design is very different from very other architects or star architects that we see around the world. She's very much about the sustainability element and how buildings actually work throughout neighborhoods. And so when Slate was going around the world looking for architects to use, they really fell in love with Jeannie's philosophy on design and how that incorporates into neighborhoods. And that was a really important element for Slate because they're here for the next generations. And they want this building to be part of that generational increase and change that they're part of. And so Jeannie today, if you look at the Aqua Tower, she was the first female architect to create the Aqua Tower in Chicago, which is world renowned for its design and architecture. She's doing 11 Hoyt in San Francisco, which is another unique architectural building. She's doing projects in New York, Paris, all around the world today. And so the great thing is that this is her first project in Canada.
Yeah.
Not just Toronto, but the first project in Canada. So for her to be able to come to Canada, she really walked this neighborhood. She really felt it. So when you see the building and the design and the terracing and a lot of the elements of it, it really reflects a lot of the elements that Yonge and Delisle in Toronto has to offer, which very few architects really do.
I think it also really speaks to this growing up of Toronto. It would have been very easy for Slate to hire a local architect, and if you look around the city, that's what we have. We have local architects who have designed and built these pretty much everything that we see in Toronto. But in the last few years, we've really seen this demand for really high-end architects. We're now seeing Norman Foster. We're now seeing Safdie. We're now seeing Bjork Ingles. We're now seeing Studio Gang. So it's really showing this maturity of the Toronto scene as a whole as well. And I love the car analogy. Downtown Toronto is, for the most part, a city full of Ford condos. We are now seeing a demand for the Porsche condos. There's a huge demand for this kind of higher end, more luxurious, more high design building, and we are really starting to see that. And I think it speaks a lot about where Toronto is as a city as well. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I think doing a number of iconic projects in Toronto, having been involved in a number of them, it was since 2011. It's been a very hard sell to get people to understand why to buy into these unique iconic buildings that you would see in Hong Kong, Shanghai, around the world. And Toronto was never ready for it. And I always say that we don't feel like we're a global city. We just don't feel that we deserve that, and we do deserve it. We're an amazing city. We're probably the most exciting city in the world today. There's no one that has as much immigration in the world today like Canada does, and Toronto is going to get. Our livability is the top 5 in the world, and so there's no reason why we shouldn't be getting that. And so the fact that these many projects have come along and they're done very well, we're now seeing more and more demand for these projects. But like you said, to work with a star architect, to work with the city of Toronto, this has taken a 5 to 6 year project. Yeah. Developers have a very short horizon, typically, right? They want to be able to get a building approved really quickly, get it in the ground, get it done, and so on and so forth. There's very few developers in the world today that really want to spend the time and the patience to grow the city and to do some great architecture and design and push the boundaries of what we've seen in Toronto. And Slate has done that here, and I think what you're going to see at One Delisle is really an opportunity time to be able to buy in a building that we will never see again in this node or in Toronto in general.
I was going to say that because I think there is an importance of being one of one. This is not your standard condo that you're going to see across the city. I think as an investor, I think there's a very there's an important piece of buying into something that is like you said, one of a kind, one of one. You're not going to see this kind of design or attention to detail or interior design. Like the interiors are incredible here.
Right.
You're not going to be able to see that in every condo launch. This is a unique one-of-one opportunity. So, and I think you, more than anybody in the city, is really well positioned to sort of talk about this kind of product. I don't think anybody sold more of this kind of product in the city. So I would love to get your take on where this building stands in terms of the portfolio that you've had over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, I mean, and because I live in this neighborhood, I know a location like One Delisle is next to impossible to get. If we look at locations that are more around Yonge and Eglinton, we look at Yonge and Bloor, there's thousands and thousands of condos that are coming along. This kind of condo, number one, is very hard to get this site. Yeah. Number two, there is a very strong ratepayers association, so there's not that many projects that will come out. And the most important thing, you will not find, because of this particular location, the height that you're going to see at One Delisle, 2 blocks south, 2 blocks north, west or east, you won't find it. Yeah. This is the terminus where they were allowed to get the most amount of density. So if you're driving north on Yonge Street or you're driving south on Yonge, this will be the terminus that you will see all throughout the city. And that's an important element for people to understand when you're investing in this building.
For sure. And the knock-on effect, the knock-on benefit of that is the views all the way around are going to be incredible. And we've already sort of touched on, we're stood here right now at 2 St. Clair. The views all the way around, whether you're looking east, north, You look towards north and you see the development in the north. You look to the south, you get the Hollywood skyline view. East-west, you can see as far as the eye can see. So there's going to be that benefit as well as of it being the sort of center point of this location.
Yeah, so that, you know, the height and the way that it lifts off the ground, the views are going to be incredible in this project. And you're also going to be, there's not much, you know, new development that's coming in these locations, because a lot of this is single family homes, and so you're going to have these unobstructed views for a long time to go, as you progress on this building. So it's really exciting to see that.
I'm going to pause it because I don't know where your microphone's going. Oh, it's there. Okay, no problem.
So that's Upper Canada College right there. You can see that right in front of us is Delisle Street.
Yeah.
That's here, which I'll explain to you shortly what's going on.
That's the side. Right?
And right where you can see the big sign on the top, that is going to be where One Delisle is.
Yeah.
And it's going to rise up to 47 stories in height.
We are here. How high are we here?
We are at the 27th floor.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So basically what happened is this building is split into three. So you have your city suites, which are up to the 28th floor.
Okay.
And then you have your sky suites, which are from 28 and up to like 44, and then from 44 to 47 is going to be your penthouse suites.
That's interesting that you've done that. So you've really structured. Watch your step, Amit. Behind you. You've really structured the building in sort of three unique layouts, essentially. So the first 28 floors are going to be. Are they going to be smaller units? Are they going to be?
Yeah, so you're going to have a very wide variety of units from, 1 bedrooms, 1 plus dens, 2 bedrooms on that, with spectacular finishes that are on there. And then your sky suites on the upper floors will have a higher level of finish. Those will have larger units for a lot of people who want to, move up, downsize, or move into. And then your penthouses are your like creme de la creme that's on the top. So there is a wide range of units available for every type of person who wants to buy into this location.
Even to this side, like the views over here, it's all park. It's like just so like in the springtime and the summertime, it's like looking over Hyde Park.
Well, I'm actually buying in this building. So one of the units I'm choosing is going to be a larger unit with this terminus up Yonge Street looking north.
This way.
Yeah, facing north. Because you're going to see this beautiful view of, on one side you're going to have Forest Hill, you're going to have Yonge and Eglinton, you're going to have, the Deer Park neighborhood and Rosedale and Moore Park on one side. And I think this view is just going to look outstanding when the building is completed. So, anything that you can get in this building, I highly recommend it, because there just really is a shortage of supply in this neighborhood. And the average price of a single family home just in Deer Park is 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
$3.5 to $4 million, right?
Like you are surrounded by multi-million dollars of real estate value across here. Like whether you go this way.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by multi-million dollar homes.
Right.
So again, it speaks to that. Like, and if you look at a couple of the condo buildings around here, they do have that more higher end feel, larger units, and they are some of the lowest turnaround. We don't see a lot of turnaround, and when they do come on the market, they do sell very quickly. So again, it speaks to that lack of supply.
There's a lack of supply, and one of the things that we should really understand is, we're seeing construction costs go up to a level, and I've been in this business for over 20 years. I've never seen the amount of increases that I've seen in construction costs in my entire career. That's doing is it's driving up, pricing, because developers are just trying to keep the margins that they had before. Yeah. And just to do that, they're just continually raising pricing. So if you look at a building like this and you're buying in today and you're not moving in for 6 years later, where do we think the cost of that value of that building will be in 6 years? I can tell you it's going to be exponentially more. And so I always try to tell people, buy prime real estate, buy great real estate, and you will never go wrong. And this is something like, for me, I will hold forever. Yeah. Like some other projects that I hold on to, just because I know I won't be able to get this ever again. It's a very rare vintage Porsche that there's very few that are made in the world, and you buy that and you keep that for the rest of your life, right? You've got a special space for that. This is a special place for me for that, and I think that many people who buy in here, they'll have the same feeling as I will, and many others.
I love the analogy. Again, I love the car analogies, because I think a lot of people sort of connect with that. But it's interesting to me that we think of Chicago, and the Aqua building is one of the first to come to mind. And we're always wondering what is that building what building is Toronto going to have of that, where the person who lives outside of Toronto, what is that building that they always connect with? Obviously the CN Tower is always there, but I think this building has that opportunity to be that building.
Right. Yeah, and I think when fully completed, when you look at the amenities of this building, they will rival things that you will see at the Mandarin Oriental in like London. The finishes that are in this building are going to be absolutely spectacular.
Talk to me about the amenities, actually, because we didn't touch on the amenities. Can you go through sort of the main amenities that?
Yeah, so one of the important parts is, we, Slate, Rad and Jeannie Gang and many others, we worked for over a year and a half to really perfect the amenity design, to make it so unique that you couldn't find this in other locations unless you went to a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have this beautiful pool with this zero edge pool with this water feature that comes out that completely opens up to this massive outdoor terrace area that Janet Rosenberg and Associates has designed. That's like something that you've never seen before. And then there's a whole wellness component to it. Yeah. So they have this eucalyptus steam room, but the eucalyptus steam room looks over a Japanese garden, right? Like just that detail in itself. You've got this infrared spa. You've got a salt room that's in there. So there's this whole that component to it. Then there's the lounge component with this massive dining table, beautiful communal kitchen for entertaining, and then you've got this wine speakeasy room that's more intimate, something that you would see in New York, and then you've got a kids room. So those people who have kids or grandkids or whatever, they have that opportunity to be part of that. And then another thing that's really important here, which people haven't seen yet, is that you're actually going to come in through a porte cochere when you drive your car in. Nice. So it's like you're driving right into a 5-star hotel, and you can drive right up to the front, and it's just a very elegant look and feel that very few buildings in Toronto will have. And you won't have the maintenance fees of a 5-star hotel to have that. So it just gives you the best of both worlds, which I just love.
I love it. So we talked about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We talked about the architecture, the architect, who is obviously a very, very important part of this. We talked about, the importance of having unique and one-of-one kind of buildings in your investment portfolio. We talked about just the unique designs, interiors, and the amenities. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to talk about on Delisle that we didn't talk about?
I think we need to go downstairs and we need to look at that there.
Let's do it. Yeah, so we're at Yonge and St. Clair right now. So we're going to do a little bit of a circle, and you lead the way and tell us.
So I think we're right here at the corner of Yonge and St. Clair. I think it's important to know that Slate Asset Management owns all 4 corners of this intersection. So you can already see some revitalization that's happening on many of the corners. There's more revitalization that's happening on there. So Slate is heavily invested in here. They've got many years that they're going to be developing on here. And office and retail is a big component, and now residential from what they have. So if we walk up north on Yonge Street, obviously this is going to be Yonge Street, where everyone wants to be on, the most important street in Toronto. You can see the Slate is working on a lot of retail that's there. This is an important, right across the street there, that's the access to the subway. So you just go right through there. So if you see the site is right here, you directly cross the street and you're right at the subway. So not just more than crossing the street. You've got the Loblaws there, you've got retail that's in there, Starbucks, banks, everything that's all around you, and more retail to come.
It's interesting how much commercial is here. Like the amount of jobs that are in the immediate area is incredible.
Yeah, so one thing too, there's close to 20 to 25,000 people that work at Yonge and St. Clair every day. And that's only growing as more office and more retail starts to come along. So you can see some of the retail that's coming along on each side. The Slate is done. And there's new retail that's coming all along this section as well. So we're really excited for what the retail is going to be at One Delisle. They've been hinting at about a number of things, and I think people will be really blown away once this building is completed at what they're planning to do in here.
So how much retail are we expecting there?
To be honest, I don't know the exact amount, but it's going to be a wide section, because they've added a section, which I'll show you, that's going to add more retail. So all from over here is going to be the project. So all this is going to be retail. Some of this heritage component that you can see on the top of the building is also going to be maintained. All this new retail is going to be coming across.
So we're going to spin around in 1 second when it's safe for him to do so. But we are now at, we're approaching Delisle.
We're approaching Delisle, so you can see right here, here's one Delisle, and here's where the sales office is going to be.
Yeah.
So this is where you're going to be your clients to purchase in this amazing building. And Delisle Street is a very quiet street that you can see on the corner here. Okay. And so how the project will happen is it'll wrap around and you'll have retail all along here. You'll have the entrance, the lobby on this side, the porte cochere will be on this side, and then there'll be more retail because Slate has just acquired the site next door, which is the older house.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to extend the podium level out to that area so that you're going to have retail that's going to be coming all the way along here.
All the way to here.
Yeah, all the way to the end. And this is an important element that you'll see, which is what we call Delisle Park.
Okay, yeah.
And
I was going to ask you about that.
I don't think people really know what's happening here, but Delisle Park is going to be fully, completely redone.
Revitalized, okay. Awesome.
Completely revitalized. So the city and Slate are going to be doing a competition, a worldwide competition, over the next few years to take this park that you see here and completely redo it. So
amazing.
Imagine being on this really quaint, beautiful street that you see here. You're going to have this amazing park that's right here. Your retail is going to come all the way up to this section, right up to here. You're going to have this beautiful tower that goes up 47 floors, and you're going to have retail on Yonge Street as well. The subway's directly across the street. You've got grocery shopping all the way across the street. I mean, I just don't think it gets better than this. I just do not think you can get a location and a building like this ever again. And really, people who miss out on this opportunity, like we've talked about before, will really be kicking themselves in 5 to 6 years when this building is done, because you'll just never be able to buy at this price again. And I guarantee it.
Amazing. So Riz, give us a quick rundown on timelines, what to expect as we get it closer to the launch, and let anybody know that if they are interested in investing here, what they have to do.
Well, first of all, if you're interested in investing, you've got to really talk to Condos, because they're the best. We're looking at somewhere between sort of end of April, sometime in May, as some sort of launch period as well.
Awesome.
We encourage you to get in touch with you to find out more about details about the project, some of the details that we'll be coming out with, in the next, week or two, so they're in the loop. Please have conversations with you to make sure that you really know the kind of product that you're looking for, so that when we do, start that process, they kind of know what they're looking at.
Once things happen,
things happen, and things are going to happen very quickly in this project because there's just so much pent-up demand, and like I said, there's very little supply. Everybody wants to buy in this building, and there's just not a lot to go around for everybody who wants to buy in here. So we just encourage you to get in touch with you and to find out more.
Great. Thank you so much, Riz.
Thank you.